Have you ever heard of a queen who never even dreamed of becoming one? A woman whose destiny was written in silence, whose courage changed history, and whose story hides one of the most mysterious truths in the entire Bible: that God can be invisible, yet still control everything. This is the story of Esther, a tale of beauty, betrayal, courage, and divine destiny. But here's the strange part. The Book of Esther never once mentions the name of God. No prayers, no miracles, no divine voice. And yet, his presence is everywhere. In coincidences, in timing, in fate. Almost as if an invisible hand was guiding every moment. Long ago, in the mighty Persian Empire ruled by King Xerxes, also known as Ahasuerus, a single decision changed everything. During a grand feast, the proud king ordered his queen, Vashti, to appear before the nobles and display her beauty. But Vashti refused.
The ritual must commence.
In fury, the king banished her and declared a search for a new queen. The empire stretched from India to Ethiopia, and hundreds of beautiful women were brought to the palace. Among them was a young Jewish orphan named Hadassah, known as Esther. She had no royal blood, no power, and no status. Mordecai, who raised her, told her to hide her Jewish identity, because being Jewish in Persia was dangerous. No one knew that this secret would later decide the fate of millions. Esther's grace and humility caught the eye of the king. She was crowned queen of the greatest empire on earth. But destiny had not crowned her for luxury. It had crowned her for a purpose. Soon after, a man named Haman, the king's most powerful advisor, rose to power. Arrogant and cruel, he demanded that everyone bow to him. But Mordecai refused. He bowed only to God. Enraged, Haman decided that Mordecai and every Jew in Persia must die. He tricked the king into signing a royal decree for their extermination. The date was fixed. The Jews had no escape. But what Haman didn't know was that the queen sitting next to the king was Jewish. This is where fate turned into mystery. On the very night Haman was planning Mordecai's execution, the king couldn't sleep. Out of all the scrolls he could have read that night, he opened the record that spoke of Mordecai saving his life years ago. The king realized he had never rewarded him. The next morning, Haman entered, ready to ask for Mordecai's death. But before he could speak, the king ordered him to honor Mordecai publicly. A divine irony so perfect, it couldn't be coincidence. When Mordecai learned of the decree, he begged Esther to go before the king and plead for her people. But entering the royal court without permission was a death sentence, even for the queen. Yet Esther made her choice. After fasting for 3 days, she uttered the words that still echo through time. "If I perish, I perish." With trembling steps, she entered the throne room. Silence filled the hall, until the king extended his golden scepter, a sign of mercy. Esther lived, but that was only the beginning. At a royal banquet, Esther revealed her hidden identity and exposed Haman's plan. The king, furious at the betrayal, ordered that Haman be hanged on the very gallows he had built for Mordecai. The Jews were saved, and the day meant for their destruction became a day of victory. That day is now celebrated as Purim, a festival of joy, remembrance, and divine protection. But the greatest mystery of all remains. Why is God never mentioned? Maybe because this story wasn't about open miracles. It was about hidden ones. It's about how divine power can work quietly, through human courage and timing. Every coincidence was part of a grand design. Every silence was a test of faith. Esther's story shows us that even when God seems absent, He's moving behind the curtain, aligning events, shifting hearts, and creating miracles disguised as ordinary moments. The story of Esther isn't just an ancient tale. It's a message for every person who has ever felt powerless, unseen, or forgotten. It reminds us that destiny doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Esther, the orphan who became a queen, the hidden believer who saved her people, proves that no matter how silent the heavens may seem, you are never outside the reach of divine purpose. So the next time your life feels like it's falling apart, remember this. Maybe, just maybe, it's fallen into place. Esther's story is living proof that even in silence, God speaks, and when He does, the world changes forever.